Alrighty, you guys. So today we are back with another fantastic Paradoxum Games interview. Today we have Keo, who writes the story for Tower Defense Simulator. He gave me some exclusive looks at the early stages of the Null and Void cutscenes, so stay tuned for those in the interview. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Hello, everybody. It is your favorite Tower Defense YouTuber, Saltz here, and we are back once again on the Saltz Show with another fantastic guest. Today's episode is the one and only Keo from Tower Defense Simulator. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello, I'm Keo. I am the writer for Paradoxum Games, and I worked on the Null and Void event.
Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about, your time at Paradoxum, and of course, what you just said, the very awesome Null and Void event, which y'all just finished up. So, jumping straight into the fun questions. What is your creative process? What steps do you take when you start writing something?
So, believe it or not, I don't really have a set structure when I do write, but when I'm writing for TDS, I like to try to figure out what the previous lore was, and I go ahead and kind of string them together to more or less figure out what TDS lore is, because it's a little bit scattered, and I break it down bit by bit. But while I write, it's like, in my head, it's like watching a movie, so I'm basically writing down what I see in my head, and that's essentially my writing process.
So how do you, work alongside, the rest of Paradoxum? Whenever I spoke with Enthrallus specifically, he said the way they used to do lore before you came along is basically they would sit in the writer's room and just go, this seems cool, let's run with it. So how do you kind of, work with that?
Oh, so I actually work pretty closely with
Below.
And what he does is he goes, hey, Keo, I have an idea, and this is what it is. So I'll give you an example for, say, the Ducky event. We were initially like, oh, well, are we going to do rabbits? Are we not going to do rabbits? What are the thoughts? And I take his idea, the team's idea, and I go ahead and kind of make it coherent and just create a narrative or story out of what they essentially want. And when I get a rough draft done, I send it off to Below, and Below will go review it, bring it back to me, tell me what changes he likes, and then I will basically then work with our concept lead, or our art lead, which is Hector, and we'll try to figure out what the setting is, what colors to use, as well as the enemies and such. And then when we get further down the line, and we begin making the scenes themselves, I'll work with, say, Rex, which is Enthrallus, and I'll also work with Profine, and he's the one that makes all of our cutscenes. So we bounce back and forth, but I'm mainly working with Rex. We create a audio block out, and then that way we know how long the cutscenes are. And I will then go with him and work with, say, the voice actors, find the lines that I want, rewrite, constant revisions, and it's a constant game of back and forth, like, hey, do you like this? What could be changed here? We need more clarity, and until we get to the final product.
I'm so glad you brought up the Ducky event, because this is a question that has been boiling in my mind since that event came out.
What's this?
Is/why Nerd Duck being a war criminal? What was the thought process behind, him conscripting elderly people and, children to go fight on the front lines? What was the thought process behind that?
So, okay, I'm going to be clear first and foremost, right? When it came to the Ducky event, I didn't actually have part of the, how the cutscenes would play out. I more or less started with the conventional idea, and I wasn't in... Let me explain this. My role wasn't figured out just yet of how to work with a team that never worked with a writer previously for many years. So we were still figuring that out, and Profine was the one that worked primarily on the cutscenes. So the way that scene sort of played out, I was like, okay, now I gotta kind of give him, a personality, and how do I make this enjoyable? So all the text that you see on screen when he speaks, that's all from me. And then all the dialogue that you see in game, the back and forth banter, I was like, how do I make it this fun? And then how can I make him unpredictable too? So when I came up the lines with, they strapped the bomb to a duck, especially the elderly. That's just, I was sitting in call, and I will actually sit there and write with Enthrallist, and we'll go ahead and basically joke back and forth what he would be saying until I find something in my head and I go, oh wait, this would be really funny. And in call, it's a lot of fun, but that's how I end up figuring that out.
So what you're saying is there's multiple people responsible for the creation of Nerd Duck being a war criminal.
Correct. He is a war criminal by definition, unfortunately.
There's a theory in here that I'm gonna be writing soon about Nerd Duck. Just you wait. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm so excited. I need to hear what your theories are. Your theories are incredible.
Thank you. Okay, so this is something that, as a writer, I would assume is kind of difficult, which is, TDS develops their story through limited seasonal events.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach, writing the story when, it's like the Halloween event? We got to make the story, kind of center around the Halloween event, or, it's, holiday season. We got to make, events center around the holiday season while also making sure it's still in line with, still developing a good cohesive story.
So that's a bit tricky, and I've been working with Below on trying to figure out a better means of giving lore and like helping you explore the TDS universe itself. But say it's kind of like a branching story. So say it's very drastic, going from Halloween to then going to Christmas, and then like the next event would be over in April, right? And so I would say it's difficult but easy in a sense, but trying to find a way to fill up those gaps, that's currently what I'm working on, and I'm trying to find a better means to doing so. Our team is just unfortunately not big enough to constantly push out something every few months. Lore-wise, though, I don't feel that it affects it too much. It just makes it feel different. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay. Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
I gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. So, with like, specifically with, stuff you've been doing recently, this is something I especially was extremely spoken about when I would criticize Tower Defense Simulator, is I thought the story up until about a month, or up until Null and Void, was extremely, lackluster and scattered. And I do think that this changed in Null and Void. Like whenever you mentioned Halloween 2020 with the Children of Exo, that one line of dialogue was so amazing. I think it linked it up back with older events and really made it feel a lot more cohesive. And so how did you approach coming on board, a already moving story with, TDS?
I'm not gonna lie, most of it came from interacting with the community, because I'll go in game and I'll ask them a lot of questions. And it's also going on TDS Wiki. That has saved my skin so many times. In addition to, I've met Wikia Colors. So when we had the first live event, I had Wikia Colors. He came down to DC to get a keychain from me, and we played the live event. And I was asking him questions as well. But navigating the TDS scattered storyline, which if I'm gonna be blunt, is very loose term, because it is all over the place. Excuse me. But I don't think up until now it really had a cohesive story, especially something that's linear that you could follow. Addressing what the problematic parts were and say I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this so it doesn't affect my NDA. I'm trying to reference the Narrator. for what was that Lunar Overture Night 3 when he didn't have a cutscene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. When it, like, let me say, in the Halloween event for Null and Void, when I tied in something like Lord Sinister, I want to try and keep what players already know from past TDS events current, because I think constantly retconning something makes it significantly worse. And I want to try to build I want to build a house on a foundation that's already there and make that house as beautiful as I can. So that's my goal.
That is very artful.
I really like that. That's the only way I can explain it. I'm sorry.
No. That's I love it. That's, that's the writer coming out. I love that. So you kind of addressed this partially, but with some, because some events had very poor reception, like Lunar Overture Act 3. How did you, because you weren't on the team back then, how did you see like, oh, people hated that, people did not like that? How did you kind of address those things?
I actually used Narrator for the second act of the Halloween event. I made a reference to it for like, you didn't even give me a cutscene. Like, who does that? It's better to poke fun at your mistakes than it is to try and bury them, because you could always learn from your mistakes if you try to. And that's what I want to target the most.
I remember that exact line of there was so much in Chapter 2, especially since I feel like Chapter 2 is kind of themed around, TDS's past. There were so many lines of dialogue that were so great with, they were like, addressing, Narrator not getting a cutscene in Lunar Overture, other parts of the game's past. Because I've been playing this game, what, came out 2019, so what, 6 years now? And so, like, seeing those things referenced to, me as someone who's been here since day one is so, like, awesome. And it helps, like, me as, like, an older player really feel seen, especially with, addressing Lord Sinister, who, you should totally bring back, by the way. I'm just saying, please bring him back. Please, I'm begging you, please bring him back.
Look, I actually like Lord Sinister too. It's just I can't really go down this path of conversation with you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I get it. It's okay. Okay. So with Null and Void, we saw a ton of, expansion on Narrator's character, who, before this event was kind of seen as, a failure.
How did you like him, by the way?
And so, I love Narrator. Genuinely, I remember, going back to Enthrallist again, when he saw my raw stream reaction to Narrator coming back, and I was just screaming like a banshee. Seeing him come back was so awesome. Because I really like the concept of him, even though he wasn't done super well in Act 3. But a lot of people, myself included, really want to see him, go on a redemption arc, become a good guy. Is he, as a character, capable of such a thing?
I think the way I see Narrator is I try to reference, old Narrator the best I can, but with a character like Narrator, he's incredibly chaotic and unpredictable, and I want to keep that chaos part of him, where he even explained, he's like, where's the drama? Like, where's the fun of it, right? Because he wants a show. He wants everything to be interesting. So I think that Narrator can do whatever Narrator feels like, if Narrator feels like it. Ooh. So I'm trying to beat around the bush because I feel you're fishing for answers for Christmas.
I absolutely am. You're absolutely correct.
I know you are. You are sneaky.
What can I say, man? I'm a YouTuber. Anything for the content. But what you're saying is Narrator does it for love of the game. Ball is ball with Narrator.
Ball is ball. He does what he loves, and I love that about Narrator. He's very unabashful when it comes to his opinions, and especially when it comes to breaking that fourth wall, which I've seen many posts of people like they found the fourth wall dead in an alley.
I mean, personally, I would categorize Narrator more as an anti-hero than an actual villain, but maybe that's just because I'm D1 Narrator Glazer till the day I die. But
Yeah,
moving on to, you know, a more, you know, villain, you know, you voice EXO, yes?
Yes, I am the voice actor of EXO for all the live events, and Rex put a line for me for the end of Act 3.
Very nice. So, how do you go into, you know, writing EXO as a villain? Obviously, I realize you can't tell me specifics, but, like, what are the motivations behind EXO? Like, what inspired him?
You mean like his character in general, how he holds himself?
Yeah.
You want me to be really honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't use references.
Ooh. Do explain.
Yeah. I feel... How do I say this loosely? Referring to something isn't a form of plagiarizing it, but in my head, it kind of feels like it. So when I look at a character, I try to think of... I try to get into the mindset of that said character and go, what would this guy rationally do with the power that he currently has? Because if he wants to do anything that he can and he has the power to do it, why would he act this specific way? So then that led down the path of, well, Lord EXO is just, he's cold, he's malicious, he does what he wants when he wants to, he's able to do what he wants, and he's able to, like, his threats are not surface level, he always follows through with it. And I wanted that to be known when it came to, you know, killing the Riftwalker. He was like, this will be fun. Well, you know, and we all saw how, you know, the end of Night 3 ended up. So I don't apologize for that. Yeah.
R.I.P. my boy.
But that's the process. I think of what the character would do, and I feel I landed pretty solidly with Lord EXO.
So is that, like, also part of the reason why he, at the end of Act 3, he kidnaps the dispatcher, or Jane? Because, you know, he had that one line of dialogue where he says, like, he likes Jane, because, you know, she claps back. And is that, like, you know, that's what motivated him to kidnap her?
I mean, think of it this way, right? You are essentially God in this, like, using quotation marks, God right now. And you have this puny mortal woman literally going, try us. Like, what? Like, you gotta tell me that wouldn't pique your interest as somebody that's just could easily just crush her with the wave of your hand? That's insane.
Hey, ball is ball. Dispatcher's out there balling.
But yeah, I try to keep it where it makes sense. Like, him doing what he does makes sense. And I leave so many breadcrumbs for people to find. And many of them have not been discovered yet, which is impressive.
All right, lore nerds, myself included, get to searching. Let's uncover the story. I've picked up some breadcrumbs that I don't know are intended, but I'm dang well gonna exploit them.
Oh, like what? Tell me.
So, something about the Children of EXO. I can't say too much without spoiling my, actually, I guess I can cut it out, but, I don't really think the Children of EXO are the, Alright, so, you know, kind of going into, you know, the man behind the madness, if you will. What inspired, you know, you, Keo, to get into story writing to begin with?
I always loved art, but I suck at drawing. So it's easier to write something than it is to, you know, draw it. I'm also very lazy. So I enjoy writing as just a hobby, and it started as a hobby where I loved commissioning art. I love art, and I still commission art. I have one for Keo coming that I'm gonna put maybe a short story on. But it's having people read what I write and then bring them into this world that I see and have them get like reactions out of what they're reading is so fun to me. Like when I watched everybody watch the cutscenes and their jaw hit the floor when everything transpired. That's gold to me. I love that. It's the fun of the game.
So was there a like specific story on how like you came to Paradoxum, or did this just kind of like fall out of the sky?
I saw the Hexscape event being made, and I was like, oh, this is super interesting. And then I saw that the writing was absolutely abysmal, and I'm like, hey, you may want to use me, and I will do this for free. Like, I want to help you here. And I do. I love it. It's fun for me. So then eventually in November, he was like, after the whole Hexscape event, he was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? And then I immediately write the, what do you call it? The logbooks for Frost event. And I also write all the in-game dialogue for all 4 events. That sucked. They are terrible. That is hands down the worst dialogue I've ever written in my entire life. I am the reason for Confident Commander and why there's Canenel still misspelled in there. And oh my god, it's horrible. But from there, that's when I started working on the cutscenes through Profine. And the the cutscenes for a Frost Spirit event are also based on my writing when it was significantly terrible. They're much more worse. Yeah. You could tell by if you rewatch it where was it Ramiel just talks about like bees to the hive. Oh, like what a terrible line that is. I cringe. I can't watch Frost Spirit to this day because of that.
I mean, I think that shows that, you know, you're improving and you're working on it. I think that's, you know, I mean, again, I think the writing has gotten exponentially better. I was, you know, y'all know this about me. I don't hold my punches whenever I have something negative to say. But I do genuinely think it's getting a lot better, and it's intriguing. I mean, you know, part of the reason I didn't start on TDS because I didn't really like have a YouTube interest with TDS for the longest time. But then I played it was the Ducky event. That was the event that brought me back into TDS.
Oh, really?
That was because I have played TDS since the day it was made. I quit around the time Tower Defense X came out because I started playing that a whole bunch. And then, so I did not play Operation Ice or Hexscape. But then I saw this Ducky event and I was like, you know, I remember the 2 previous Ducky events. Let me try this one out. Played it. Thought Nerd Duck was so funny and stupid as a character, and I was like, okay, they might be they might be cooking up something here. And then I replayed all the reworked modes and all that stuff, and then Null and Void came out, and I was like, yeah, this is like I'm all in. It went from like I liked TDS, but I had no interest of talking about it on my channel to like, oh my god, like I need to start talking about some lore theories about how, you know, Nerd Duck's a war criminal. So
I see what happened. You got a taste of my writing, and you were just like, yeah, this, give me more.
So you're just like the genesis of everything good that's ever happened in this game, huh? You fixed the game completely, you know.
Absolutely not. That is not how that works. The dev team itself is so incredible, and the fact is that without Profine, without Enthralist, without Capra, without C4, without... I can name so many devs at this point that worked and put their hands into TDS. You can look at the cutscenes and see like their personality. Like Radoob, he animated Narrator, and so did C4. Profine animated a lot of the other ones. Without everybody's piece of the puzzle, you wouldn't have anything, and I'm nothing without them. And we all work together. So the success of Null and Void is everything to the dev team as a whole.
Aww. That's sweet.
No, I lied. It's all me.
It's all you. All right,
it's all me. I'm him. Believe it or not, I'm him.
He is him. All right, you heard it here. I'm gonna have so fun picking out a title for this video. It's gonna be it's gonna be so awesome. But the passion shows. I like going back to the cutscenes especially. Like they're so. Can my headset stop actually tweaking out? Thank you. There's just so much soul and character in the game that is.
It's all thanks to the animators. They work overtime hours. They were working. Our Discord call hit 178 hours, consecutively, nonstop. They put so many more hours. I'm literally nothing. I put like a very small foundation, but nothing compares the amount of effort and lost sleep that those guys have. It's ridiculous.
Animators are unsung heroes of game development. They make the game, what it is, in my opinion. If I swear 100%. To God, if I see any more comments of Paradoxum Games doesn't work hard, I'm coming down there and I'm replying to you with a sad face. I don't know. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I love to do these interviews, is I feel like public perception is so just incorrect a lot of the times. And I like to give people a platform to, talk about what they do, especially because there's, again, like you said, there's so much passion that goes into it. But carry on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're the guest. I insist.
Okay. The misconception when it comes to game development is that it's a very quick turnaround process, when it's not. And we have a team of over 30 people. We have producers, we have back end, front end. It's a lot that happens. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to game development. And I see a lot of times in the comments where it's like, hey, like, why don't you just fix this? And it's like, well, we would like to, but there's more that has to be done to get to that point. And the unfortunate truth when it comes to Roblox specifically is that you're not fighting against the next creative idea. You're fighting against the next brain rot. And
yep.
It's literally a, how do you say, meat grinder, where if you're not constantly trying to one-up yourself, creativity constantly gets shoved down by the most weakest video games, if you could even call them that. They're cash grabs that will flock millions of players. So genuine art takes time, and the whole dev team reads everybody's comments, and we watch everybody's videos. So that's also another reason why I'm constantly in game talking to players. It's like, we see you, we know what you want. We're trying our best to give it to you.
Especially, with Roblox Studio itself is kind of a crappy engine. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
So half of me and Thrallist's conversations off air have just been how much we both hate Studio, which is really funny. But Studio sucks, because I used to work in Roblox game development 1,000 years ago. So I feel y'all's pain. This isn't like a y'all specific problem. This also happened with TDX's Nightmare update, where animations just wouldn't load. Because Roblox's backend couldn't handle it. That's
what happened this event.
Insufferable problem known to man. It's a whole thing. But you sent me some footage of the early looks on these cutscenes, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate on those to kind of explain their purpose.
Yeah. So halfway through Null & Void, or after the first act was created by Jay or Profine, he came to me. He's like, hey, we need to streamline this somehow, because I can't be doing both the animation and blocking these things out while also trying to figure out frame composition, where characters should stand, how everything should look. It's just too much going on in my brain. I said, okay, let's see how I can make this easier. And he said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an asset world, and I want you to just take these characters. I just want you to move them around, and just kind of like how old Roblox videos used to be done, or stories. You move everything around and you just take photos, like stop motion. That way you could just get the general idea of what you want. It's literally a game of it doesn't have to look good, it just has to exist. And so I'm terrible at Roblox Studio. What you're actually seeing is me. That's the first time I'm using Roblox Studio to try and create something here. And I created a rough block out of what I see in my head in my story. And then I hand that over to Profine, who then picks it apart, shortens it, does whatever he needs to do. I work back with Enthrallist. We move things around, redo songs, redo lines, try to make it as short as possible. And it's a situation of we start really big and then we shorten it to get a polished product. And that's what I did for Act 2, Act 2 Act 2 cutscene 1, Act 2 cutscene 2, Act 3 cutscene 1. I made an Act 3 cutscene 2, but due to time restraints, they were like, this is way too much. And honestly, I had nothing to do with the second cutscene of Act 3, of that whole thing being concepted. That was all Profine. He just was like, this will be cool, and did it. And it's the most impressive cutscene out of the whole event, and I think that's insane. So what I did was I went ahead and condensed the lines that were supposed to be used, like the talking in the background that you hear. That was supposed to be in like the original, but it wasn't supposed to be structured like that. So I shortened it to make it a lot better and more threatening. So it fit that like horror psychosis feel. And then once the Riftwalker lifts his head and it just snaps you in, that's cinematic gold. It was amazing.
Very nice. So what you're saying is, once again, you came in and saved the day with these story blocks. Once again, Keo is the savior of TDS.
Bro, I'm just doing it all. I work maybe like an hour. All the devs, it doesn't matter if they work like 48 hours straight. I'm him.
You're him. You heard it here first.
Not at all.
Very nice. Moving into some kind of fun fact. What is your all-time GOAT favorite character you helped write for Tower Defense Simulator?
Narrator.
My man. Man of culture. Man of culture.
I love Narrator. Narrator's so fun.
I agree. They don't make characters like Narrator anymore. They just don't. I love Narrator.
And unfortunately, I'm also the reason why Professor V exists. So I actually really like her character. It's unfortunate that we're not able to explore it further. So I'm trying to make people see what I see, but right now they're just like, oh wow, it's her and Nerd Duck that literally caused Dispatcher disappearing, so now everybody hates her. And I'm like, oh no.
Listen, if it's any consolation, I hated Professor V long before then.
Valid. All I'm gonna say is I understand. I'm hurt, but I understand.
Hey, you got time. You got however long this game's being worked on, so like till the end of time to expand on her character. It'll work.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Have her commit some war crimes, then people will like her like Nerd Duck.
Oh yeah, send in the elderly to go battle maybe some children. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Exactly. This guy gets it.
I get it.
But how is playing Tower Defense Simulator as a someone who works on the game? Like, is there something like, if you could add or change anything about the game, what would it be?
I would add more lore, if possible.
Really?
I really like story. I think so. I view the TDS towers. They're iconic characters, right? They're not supposed to change. It's kind of like Superman or Batman, and I see them as they have their own personalities, and that's why I started adding in like, what are you gonna say? Accelerator only eats hamburgers on Monday or Friday, and then just that whole conversation, just adding those small tidbits of information to bring more personality to the characters. If I could just do that and have them have their own identities, I would be so happy, and I feel it would just be incredibly beneficial to the game.
I agree. I really like also like engineers protective over machines. Medic would want Dispatcher to bring back like the null medic for her to dissect it. All those little. I think the corrupted towers like trope y'all did was a really cool way to explore on those tower themes like you were talking about.
Did you get a chance to read the lore books?
I have. Yes, I've read them.
Yeah, instead of doing the more descriptive route, I thought doing something that was a little bit more personal to the towers themselves would be much more interesting than just being like, this happens, this happens, this happens.
Yeah, no, they were the most captivating out of all the logbooks that I have. They're fascinating to read. since, you know, they're kind of stories of their experiences with their, you know, demented selves, effectively.
Their alter ego. You guys should go play. I'm tagging it into your video.
All right, guys, go play Alter Ego. You heard it here first. You know what would be a great, like, trait for one of the towers? You should have this thing where, like, say it's like DJ booth, since he's got like the little laptop on his DJ stand. He canonically likes, comments, and subscribes to youtube.com/authenticsaltz. And he's like a huge fan of like the Saltz YouTube channel.
Canonically?
Canonically would be awesome, I'm just saying.
That's a big ask. Maybe he likes and subscribes everybody.
Ooh. Dude, that's insane.
That's
Dude,
deep.
that'd be really funny if DJ canonically was like addicted to YouTube. That's why he doesn't do damage, he's too busy watching YouTube.
Yeah, all he does is he plays songs and jumps around, and then unless you have like the other skins, but like we don't care about the other skins.
Yeah, we're not gonna delve into the topic of our skins canon. All right, well, go ahead and just shout out whoever, whatever you want to shout out, you know, for being on the channel.
Capra, Radube, Profine, Below, Kelsey, Hector, Tyler, Pedro, oh my god. We have Bear, Mew, Dogpressed, Tyler, Nim for all the balancing, Bethy for all the voice lines for Dispatcher, as well as the Whispers of Umbra. We have Rex, of course. So many people that are on the team. Everybody on the dev team. I love all of them. They're all great people.
Alrighty, guys, you heard it here first. Go play Tower Defense Simulator. Go play Alter Ego. Go give your money to Paradoxum Games so they can continue paying these awesome developers who have so much passion for the game. It's so unreal. And as always, make stuff you're proud of. Alrighty, you guys, so that was my interview with Keo, also known as the story writer over at Paradoxum Games. I really hope you enjoyed this interview. Keo was an absolute blast to have on the channel. I really hope you guys want more of these Paradoxum interviews, because if you keep wanting them, I'll gladly keep making them. But that being said, like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more Saltz, and as always, make stuff you're proud of.